Okay, so stretching is super important, guys. Do you know when a baby wakes up or an animal wakes up first thing in the morning from a nap, what's the first thing they do? They give that big old stretch to that body, get it kind of loosened up before they get up. Us as adults, we don't do that. We want to get our coffee in our system, we want to get a shower, we want to get ready for the day. That's the first thing we should be doing, is stretching. Before you even get out of the bed, give yourself a good stretch. From front to back, extend all your arms above your head. Make sure you just get a full body stretch before you get out of bed. Very important. We don't do that as adults because we think we don't need it, but if you look at everything before us, stretching is hugely important. I also like to lay on the ground flat. So I'll literally lay on the ground in my basement, just on carpet, a couple pillows behind my head, and I'll make sure I just stretch out my whole body and get a nice, good stretch in, and kind of rock my hips back and forth, left to right, as I'm kind of laying there too. Sometimes I'll put my legs up with my arms extended, and the legs will be propped up and kind of go back and forth, kind of just loosen up the lower back and kind of help just loosen up some joints. The back pod is really good, but it can be used wrong and create different problems for you. So it's very important to find your comfort strength with this thing. You don't have to necessarily go off what you learned off of YouTube. Everyone is different. That's what I found out. If you go straight into these back pod stretches, you're going to have a flare-up. You're going to be in pain because your body's not used to it. So this does take some time, but it's not the ultimate. It's just an alleviator. It helps. It's going to help you get to that next stage. But nevertheless, I definitely encourage everyone to invest in one of these. I use mine on my top area of my back, not between my wings, but a little bit higher. That's where I seem to have the most pressure. Usually right around here in this area will cause the most inflammation. So once I have a couple good stretches in, the one main stretch that has really helped out a lot is the sternum pop. The sternum pop is something that I've read, yes, it's good and you shouldn't do it more than once a day. However, I was doing it at least 3 to 4 times a day if my body let me do it. But the stretch that I use the most, and this is the one that I use and it works great, is simply this. Once you go ahead and get your body kind of loosened up, make sure you have, just good action between your rib cage and your chest. But the one thing you're going to do is you're going to extend your arms all the way up, as high as you could possibly go. Almost like if you're trying to touch something that's up there without going on your tippy toes. You want to extend your arms to the point where they are at the highest point. So for in my case, I'm like this. Now it's very important that you have your head straight up looking up too, because that's going to alleviate a lot of the pressure caused in the neck area as well as the chest too. So the pose is going to be like this. As far as you can reach up, you guys are going to reach up. You're going to take your hands and you're going to bring them together as you do that. So the pose is like this. Remember, as high as you could possibly go with your shoulders and your neck tilted back. That's going to open up this part of your body. So neck back, all the way back, your arms locked, and your arms as high as you could possibly go. Now once again, if you guys are in pain, don't go as hard as you can. Work your way into this. This is not something that's going to cure you just like that. It's going to take a couple days. But the part is the back, the chest, the shoulders, and everything is going to become a little looser from doing this. And I stress, take your time with this. I don't want you guys to hurt yourself. Everybody is made different, okay? This is what worked for me. So once again, you're going to have your hands brought together. It's almost like you're swinging an axe, like you're about to come down on something really heavy and cut it in half. Almost that type of scenario. Fingers locked, head straight up to the sky, arms reaching as high as you could possibly go. Once you're in that position, you're slowly going to bend back with your back. Just like that. You're going to slowly bring your back to an arch as you're doing that stretch. So it looks something like this. Also, deep breath in, and as you let out your air, that's when you're extending backwards. Don't do it with a full breath. Do it as you release your air and kind of tilt backwards. So it'll look like this. Just like that. Now from the side, same thing. Okay, you're going to feel your back. You're going to feel that arch. You're not going to be used to it at first, and you might even get a little sore the next day. My wife tried this stretch. She wasn't ready for it. She said it hurt her back immediately, and I told her you just can't go into it. You're going to have to take little steps to loosen up your back at least to get ready for these stretches. But you're going to feel this pressure kind of unhinge, and you'll get a pop if your body allows you to. Mine doesn't pop anymore because it's placed now where it doesn't need to be alleviated. It's one of those things where I did it for a full week, and the first 4 days it was popping all the time. Now I'm to the point now where I'm just stretching gradually to work out that hinge, but there's no pop at all. So everything seems to be healing, I guess is the term for it, since I'm not getting that pop anymore. But for the first couple days, boy was I getting that pop. Another thing I would do too, I know it sounds silly, but I was desperate, guys. I would stick like a little thing up my nose to cause myself to sneeze. And when I sneeze, I brought my chest in like this, very close, like I'm doing a golf swing. Because if you're like this and you sneeze and it hurts, you're gonna hurt worse. It's not good for you. So bring your chest inwards if you feel like you're gonna sneeze, almost like you're giving yourself a hug. That's gonna relieve, oh my gosh, so much pressure when you sneeze or when you cough. Don't cough like this or like this. Bring everything in if you feel like you're gonna sneeze or cough during a flare-up or really tight pain. What that will do is allow you to sneeze or cough, but also pop that sternum without any pain then. As long as you bring your chest in and your arms in, almost like you're giving yourself a hug once again. I just bring everything in real close if I know I'm gonna sneeze, and I would sneeze, but I would get that pop. Also, stand up straight when you do that too. That's also gonna pop that chest. So when everything is in and you feel like you're gonna sneeze, pop, that's gonna pop. And you're gonna feel pressure, and you're gonna get a little relief, and then it's also gonna subside a little bit too. Now, I didn't want to have to stick things up my nose all the time to pop my sternum. So this, the hands together, the arms up, neck, everything to the sky, and bending backwards creates that same kind of effect for you. At the same time, as you come down, you can also just work on a few other things, like keeping your hands locked and kind of doing twists. Also, shoulder rolls are very good for it too. Make sure to do a lot of shoulder rolls throughout the day, especially if you sit at work. I work for a company that requires us to sit at a cubicle. However, I don't sit. I really don't. I stand 90% of the time I'm at work, because I know my posture is what caused this, and I'm kind of afraid to even go back into that old way of lifestyle there. So I constantly stand. One other thing too has helped me a lot is I was able to print lifts. So the lifts, I have a 3D printer. I printed a couple lifts of my shoes because I was wearing sandals and other shoes, but once I got these lifts in here, I went back to the other shoes and realized my posture was messed up because of those shoes. So shoes, insoles, posture corrector, even lifts are going to help dramatically too. So I recommend make sure you have your insoles, make sure you have a good pair of shoes to where you need that support on your feet, because your support on your feet is going to align your spine. If you don't have a good posture on your feet, or if you don't have a good cushion support, you're going to mess up your spine. It's just the way that we are designed. So if you need it, email me, message me, and I'll be happy to 3D print you some lifts that fit underneath your insole. Okay, so that's a very big thing too, is make sure you have a little bit of lifts under your insole, under your heel. That's going to cause your posture to be forward, as opposed to slouching a lot when you walk. So these posture, or the lifts, create that heel to where you're like that. So you're always going to be up like this. Good rolls in the chest. And also that one stretch though, I cannot stress enough how well it works for me. And I know you guys can do this too. Once again, you're going to press everything together like this. You're going to reach for the sky as high as you possibly can go, almost like you're just trying to grab something that's just out of reach. Same time, the neck, everything is straight up. You're going to feel it right here. That's the pressure we're going to try to relieve. So all in that motion. And bend back as far as your body allows you to. But once again, go slow. Do not rush this. Do not force it. Don't think it's going to be the cure-all on the first day. Your body is going to realize that it's setting things back into place by creating these stretches. And what happened for me? Amazing. I can't stress enough how well this works. And I've had Costro for 3 years. I've tried it all. I actually, cortisone shots. I've tried magnesium. I've tried ice. I've tried heating pads. I've done it all. I've tried it all. And this is the only thing that works. So in the past couple weeks, I am Costro free. I can happily say that, and it gives me chills to know that I am almost done with this stuff. I'm just over it. And I know you guys are too. So any pointers that I can share with you, it makes me happy because I've been in your shoes. And don't give up. Do not give up. It sucks. It plays a part on your head, your mental, your life, everything. And no doctors, they all think we're crazy too, because what are they going to do? Just give us some ibuprofen, some pain pills? We don't want that. We want to know what's wrong and how to fix it. And none of us can do that. No doctors can really help. It's kind of hard. It sucks. So we stick together, and I'm sharing what works for you. Last time, guys, here we go. So once you get your body, stretched out a little bit, I'm not saying go hard, but when you wake up, give a good stretch. Don't pop out of bed and get ready for the day. Make sure you stretch. Take your time, okay? Be like babies and animals. They stretch. We stretch too. We need to. It's part of our body. So once you make sure you have a good stretch out and make sure everything's kind of loosened up a little bit, that's when you go into the harder stretches. And once again, from the side, you're not going to go back as far as you can at first because you're going to wake up with a sore back or you're going to hurt your back. So take your time on this one. Fingers together, all the way to the top, all the way to the top. So these should be almost pressed against your ear, your biceps. So you want them almost pressed against your ear while you're looking straight up. You have to look straight up for this to work. So straight up, opened up, deep breath, and as you release, slowly lean back. So like that. Okay. And I can feel, man, it's so much better. There's no popping, but I know this stretch is helping the insides. My ribs kind of align back together where they need to be. My back loosening up. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. It really helps. Once again, take your time with it. We're all here to help each other, okay? If you guys have any messages, just message me. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to go through things again with you. So invest in a back pod. That's going to help you kind of kickstart everything. But don't use it if it hurts, okay? Start with 2 pillows behind the head and kind of slowly, gradually bring that to your back. As your arms are back and you're resting on it, you have to be comfortable. If it hurts in any way, you're doing it wrong. So get a back pod. From there, make sure you stretch every day. I know it's a pain in the ass, but before you wake up, give yourself a good stretch. Kind of reach down, try to touch your toes, get your body kind of loosened up a little bit. You want to get used to that, okay? That's something your body needs to get used to as well. Once you have a good stretch, make sure you rock your back and forth. Holding it in a position like this, arms back, okay? These need to be back. If you're doing stretches like this, you're not doing anything to help the situation. So make sure it's back, just like this, okay? Once you kind of get that good stretch in, do some shoulder rolls. And don't be afraid. You're going to hear some grinding. That's normal. People with Costro, we have a lot of grinding up there. It's going to sound like a machine. It's just like, and I don't get that as much anymore, but I used to a lot. It would just sound like just grinding, but it's like so bad. So as you're doing your stretches, make sure you get some good shoulder rolls in there, okay? I don't really recommend going this way. It's just more of a back. Just like that. Okay? From there, lock your hands in, look straight up, reach for the sky, act like you're going to slam something down to the ground. Back. Oh, there it is. So kind of take your time with that. Do this every couple hours. Constantly be shifting your body, stretching, shoulder rolls. Try not to sit. I know it sucks, but we'll get through this. Guys, I feel like I've taken up too much of your time, but if you have any more questions, just message me. I'm here for you. We're here for each other. Take care.